Hey, welcome to 40 Something and Fabulous with Penny. We're cooking tonight EVERYPLATE. I did an unboxing towards the end of February, and then we cooked a meal, and this is going to be meal number 2 from that box. It's going to be the Ancho chili meatloaves with zucchini and brown butter mashed sweet potatoes. Looks yummy. I don't know about the Ancho chili. I'm curious. I've got some of my ingredients already. I've got the bread that goes in them, the 2 cloves of garlic, the sweet potatoes, the chili pepper. Is it in the fridge? I left it in here. I didn't put it in the refrigerator. I wonder if it's any good. I've had it here since last Wednesday. Today is Monday. Smells fine. Maybe I'll get a jalapeno out or some kind of pepper I bought. I don't even know what it is. Or maybe I just won't even use it. Let's see, cayenne pepper. That must be for the other recipe. Chili ancho. Let me make sure the cayenne is for, the cayenne is for the creamy smothered pork chops that we'll be doing tomorrow. Okay, so everything else goes back over here, and including this. And I still need to grab my zucchini and my ground beef. Zucchini and ground beef. And this did come with the EVERYPLATE meal. It was just in the fridge. And these, I should not have kept this long. I should have made these the other day. They're getting a little soft, but they'll still be fine. All right, so I'm gonna get some bowls and some utensils, and I'm gonna put on some gloves because I do not wanna get meat junk underneath my fingernails. Something to peel these, something to slice these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is gonna be a very different meatloaf recipe than what I normally do. I pulled out some of the bowls I'm gonna need and some of the extra ingredients. Butter is one, ketchup is another, which we're almost out of, so hubby's gonna make a quick run to the store. Sugar, salt, pepper, and vegetable oil. So I have all that out except the oil. I'm gonna go ahead and my oven's preheating now. I washed the zucchini a bit ago. The first thing it says is to peel and chop garlic, which I'm actually not real good at this. So maybe I will do this part off camera. Let's see. Especially with these gloves, because I thought I was gonna be messing with the meat, which I will be in a minute, but first we're gonna chop veggies. So you know what? I'm gonna pull these off just because I can't work with them very well. And I see that you can't see what I'm doing. I need to work on my camera angles. I'm having issues with that, but we'll get it right. Give me some advice if you have any. It may take getting a new phone holder. Oh, that peeled really nice. Let me get all of the... So far, they loved the meal that I made from EVERYPLATE the other night. I think I said HelloFresh a while ago about something. I don't know. Did I? I hope not. Anyway, they loved the hoisin chicken recipe. That will be something that we all tend to like Korean inspired food anyway. So I need to get some more good Korean recipes into our rotation because we all like it. And like I say, it turned out really well. We had plenty. We actually, all three of us ate that evening, and then the next day, hubby and I shared what was left, the fourth meal, and it was more than enough for both of us. So that's what we had for lunch. So I'm gonna slice up my garlic, and then I'm gonna chop it really thin. And like I said, I'm not real good on chopping veggies. I really need to, it probably wouldn't hurt to actually watch some YouTube videos on how to chop better. The mashed sweet potatoes, I love that. Hubby used to didn't like sweet potatoes, or so he thought. And over the years, he's tried them here and there, and actually now really likes them. And so I'm anxious tonight for the mashed sweet potatoes. I don't think he's ever tried them mashed, but I love sweet potatoes. And he got sweet potato fries the other day and really liked them. So we'll see how he does with the mashed sweet potatoes, but I'm excited about that. And then chopping the garlic. I need to forward through this. So I would highly recommend EVERYPLATE, and I will most likely do it again. Well, I am doing it again. There's one fixing to be on the way. So does this go in with the... I think this goes in, yeah. Beef, garlic, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put the garlic in with the ground beef. I don't think my ground beef mixing pan is big enough. I opened that off camera because I wanted to smell it and make sure it was okay, since it wasn't, you know, it's been a few days since I got the delivery and everything was fine. I would think that just as long as you use it before, at least before the 7-day cycle, but as soon as possible is best. All right, so there's our garlic. Now we're gonna chop the zucchini and get it ready. I need to dry these a little bit more. They're still too wet. With zucchini, you don't want it to be too wet from where you wash it, because zucchini has a lot of water in it anyway. And although we're roasting them in the pan, so that'll dry them out too, but you don't want them wet. All right, I got my veggie trash bowl over here. Going to slice these up in half, and then we're going to slice them into little half moon shapes. Yeah, I was very impressed at how fresh everything was when I got it. These would not have been soft if I had cooked them in a reasonable time. Like I said, Wednesday. The box got here on Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 5 days ago. So I guess we're doing pretty good here. It was kind of a lazy weekend, and I didn't end up cooking because it snowed all day on Sunday, and we just kind of lazed around, and we ate sandwiches and stuff. We didn't really do a whole lot, so... The weekends is actually probably when I should cook. Go out during the week when things are more hectic. Okay, those look good. I love zucchini. Again, roasting is my favorite method for making any kind of vegetable. So hopefully this will be a big hit. I know hubby likes roasted zucchini also. We're gonna toss it in some oil. It's gonna go right on the pan with the meatloaves. So I got my big baking sheet out to do everything together. Hubby should be back from the grocery store before I actually even need the ketchup, so we're good to go on that. Okay, these are all done. I'm gonna put these over here on my baking sheet. which they take up almost the whole baking sheet. So maybe I'll get another baking sheet for the little meatloaves, since there's 4 of those. Yeah, there's not gonna be enough room. So we're gonna actually spread these out really nice. Okay. Now we're gonna peel and dice the sweet potatoes. These are still nice and firm. Our oven is preheated, so it's ready to go. If you haven't tried a meal delivery program, I definitely encourage you to do it. I love the fact that you pretty much have everything in your box that you need. If I'm not mistaken, HelloFresh actually sends things like ketchup. You have to come up with your own salt and pepper and oil and butter, I think, are the only 4 things that you have to come up with. Sugar might be one of them too. I can't remember, but I know for this I need the oil, butter, sugar, ketchup. There was something else. Oil, ketchup, sugar, and butter, yeah. So, but other than those staple items, which most households are gonna have around the house anyway, you have everything in your box needed to make a quick and healthy dinner. And with my experience, it's always been pretty decent prep, you know, like especially if I could chop better, but it's always been really easy to prepare. The directions are pretty easy to follow. Although on this particular recipe, it does say to add pepper and it doesn't say how much. I read over it a couple times looking for it and I didn't see. Oh, I thought I was done. I've got 2 more of these to peel. This is gonna make a really nice helping of mashed sweet potatoes, mashed brown butter sweet potatoes. So I guess we're gonna brown the butter in the pan and then probably, well, no, it said boil. Let's see, we're gonna boil them in a pan with salted water. Yeah, then we're gonna put them in a skillet with the brown butter. And then cook them and then mash them right in the pan. Cool. So basically your pan is just to melt your butter. You could feasibly empty the pan of water and put your butter right in there, probably. The same pan that you boil them in. Okay. And number 4. I've got flying sweet potato skin flying around the room. It's actually a little warm to me this afternoon. I don't know why. The sun's shining really pretty out there. It snowed all day yesterday, so the ground was covered. It's melting off pretty quickly. So that leads me to believe the temperature must be pretty decent outside. I haven't been out today. Oh, come on. Okay, so the next thing it says to do is to actually put the bread in a bowl with 3 tablespoons of water. And then once it's soaked, I probably needed a bigger bowl. Once it's soaked up really well, then you kind of tear it apart with your fingers. Oh, you know what? 6 tablespoons for 4 servings. I didn't see that part, so I'm gonna get 3 more tablespoons. I'm getting to the point where I need reading glasses to do pretty much anything. And of course it would help if I would turn the darn kitchen light on. I always forget that. Interesting. See, I never soaked my bread when I make meatloaf myself. In fact, I usually use really fine breadcrumbs for mine. All right, so let's see. We are going to let it absorb, then break it up with your hands until pasty. Add beef, garlic, 3/4 teaspoon of chili powder. Where's my teaspoon? Actually, let me get one of the smaller ones. Let's get 1/4 teaspoon. I've even got pinch and dash teaspoons. I didn't even know that. 3/4 teaspoon of the chili ancho stuff. Smells pretty good. So we got 1, 2, they could have said 1 packet. Yep, pretty much 3. Okay, let's just empty all that in there. Okay, and then that was my 1/4 teaspoon, I hope. Yeah, okay, 3 of those. And then salt, 1.5 teaspoons for 4 people. They call for kosher salt, but I'm gonna just use my pink Himalayan sea salt. That's what we always use. And it said 1.5 teaspoons. I'll do 2/4 teaspoons to make a half. And then pepper, I'm just gonna kind of, oh, I probably need these again. I'm probably gonna need some oil as well, so I'll go ahead and get that out. I'm just gonna eyeball the pepper. That's probably good. Okay, and then mix to combine, okay? Gloves get to go back on. Don't want the hamburger meat getting all up underneath my fingernails. I'm putting mine inside out. That don't really matter. I'd be using my bare hands if it weren't for my nails, so I'm not really that worried about it. And then we're gonna shape them into two 1-inch tall loaves, 4 servings for 4 loaves for 4 servings. So 4 1-inch tall loaves, basically like a hamburger patty. We're gonna drizzle the zucchini with oil and salt and pepper. And it's all gonna go in together. We're gonna roast the zucchini for 15 minutes and we're gonna add the ancho chili glaze when the zucchini comes out. And then, yeah, and then we're going to bake that a little bit longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop up our gonna chop these up just so I don't. It says to chop them and then place them in the salty water, so. That wasn't as much as it sounded like. I'm actually going to run hot water. I'm going to cut them a little on the small side so they cook quickly. Just don't want them to be too hard when they... Okay, so we've got this ready to combine. I need to grab my other pan. We are going to go ahead and get our beautiful sweet potatoes going. We're going to bring those to a boil. We've got the zucchini that we're going to toss with some oil, salt, and pepper. We're going to be roasting that for 15 minutes. I really need a oil pourer. That would make things a lot better. Salt really well. Pepper. I normally use complete seasoning or Alessi dipping spices on all my food basically. But since the meatloaves are going to have such a different flavor, something we're not used to, I'm just going to do regular salt and pepper tonight. And so that way it doesn't distract at all from the taste of the meatloaves. I'm really curious to see that. So now I'm going to mix up the hamburger meat with the garlic, salt, pepper. I think that's all that's in here, isn't it? The things you don't think of beforehand. Okay. That seems like a lot of bread. I probably could have put all that in the same bowl and done it all in the same bowl. And I always put egg in my meatloaf as well. Here I am over here again where you can't see what I'm doing. I always put egg in my meatloaf to hold it together along with the breadcrumbs. But the only thing in this is the moistened bread, salt, pepper, garlic, and then there'll be the the ancho chili glaze will go on top. So we'll be adding ketchup at some point too. Let's see. Oh, that actually goes into the sauce as well. Really? Okay, this is so not the recipe I would use for meatloaf, but with the sauce on top, it's probably going to be very different. It'll be, you know, that's where all your flavor is going to be, is in that sauce. Glaze. Glaze. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I hope I have all this combined well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to oh, nope. I want some bread. Okay, I'm gonna make it into one big ball. And then I'm gonna split it up into 4 smaller balls. 1, 2, whoop, 3, 4. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pat them out into like little hamburger type. It says 1 inch tall. It looks like it's a little taller than an inch. That's a nice size portion. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. That's actually a nice chunk of meat. I'm thinking it's about a 1/4 pound because I'm guessing that each pack was 8 ounces. That would give us a total of 16 ounces of ground beef. I had a friend that used to make them like this. When she made meatloaf, she always made them individual. They cook a lot faster is one benefit. But I don't know. I think my husband prefers the slicing of the big loaf. I mean, that's why it's called meatloaf, because it's in a loaf. But tonight it's hamburger patty style meatloaf. This one feels like it might be a little smaller, so I'll take this one. And again, we're cooking this at a 425-degree oven. We're gonna roast our zucchini at 425 as well. I'm guessing, well, I don't know, just the common sense side of me thinks that maybe the zucchini will dry out better at a higher temp versus at 350. Leave me a comment if you know the answer to that, but that's what I'm thinking. This one's even smaller, look at that. That one is just kind of like weirdly shaped. One thing about meatloaf as well is my husband usually likes to eat 2nd and 3rds. So I don't know how this is going to go over when he's got to only eat 1 piece. And then the other one is for his lunch tomorrow. Although if he wants it tonight, I guess we'll end up making him a sandwich. I'm patting mine a little flatter. I'm going to take the smallest one, although it's not that small. Okay, that's all done. We are ready to stick it in the oven. And then we're gonna make the sauce. I'll be right back. Okay, so it says to combine 6 tablespoons of ketchup with the remaining chili powder, which is a lot, but what it says to do, a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, this chili finely chopped, 1/2 teaspoon sugar. Let's go ahead and do, this is my 1/4. Oh, 1 tablespoon for 4. I need to start reading that. How many things have I gotten wrong? Hopefully not any. Okay, so that's 1 tablespoon. And as much chili as you'd like. Start with a pinch, then taste, then add more from there. If you like things spicy. Once meatloaves have roasted 15 minutes, remove from oven and brush with ketchup glaze. Okay, so I'm thinking just a little bit of this chili pepper. It says finely chopped chili until you have a 1/4 teaspoon. A 1/4 teaspoon is not a lot. So I'm betting we want even less. How do I get it small enough? Ooh, I can smell the heat, y'all. Jeez Louise. Okay, that's all I'm doing, because I have a feeling with the Ancho chili powder, that's also going to be a little spicy. Okay, 6 tablespoons of ketchup, remaining chili powder. I'll go ahead and put all that in. Might be a mistake, but hey, you live and learn, right? We have found some of the most yummy things like that with just following the recipe. Things that we wouldn't think we would like, so. There's all that. And I will taste it to see. Do I need anything else? If I get a piece of this chili on my tongue, it's probably gonna burn. Let's get it really good and mixed up because we have some sugar in there. And all that spice too, I kind of just dumped in there. So we want to get it good and, ooh, that's got a sweet heat to it. That's very good. Okay, I like that a lot. I'm gonna add a little bit more pepper to our zucchini here. Let's go ahead and add some more salt as well after we tossed it. Okay, so this stuff is ready to go in the oven. 15 minutes left on my timer, that's perfect. That means our sweet potatoes have been going 5 minutes. These are gonna come out in 15 minutes and we're going to glaze those meatloaves. I think that's it for the okay, it says if zucchini's tender, once we pull the meatloaves out in 15 minutes, to just transfer them to a plate. So we'll check them and see how they are. And then it says to return the meatloaves to the oven until slightly tacky, and meatloaves are cooked through 4 to 5 more minutes. Then we're gonna melt 2 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of butter, that's what we got our butter out for. In pot used for potatoes over medium heat, cook, stirring until butter is foamy and flecked with amber brown bits. 2 to 3 minutes. Take a whiff, it should smell nutty. Immediately add sweet potatoes and a splash of water. Mash until smooth. Season generously with salt and pepper. Divide mashed potatoes, meatloaves, and zucchini between plates. So that's gonna do it for this recipe. It was super easy. The most complicated thing was chopping those sweet potatoes, which there's got to be a better way. Them things are hard as a rock usually. So the few times that I've done them, I've thought, you know, maybe you can cook them first and then peel them, or then chop them up. I don't know, but they probably take forever to cook that way. So maybe that's why we chop them first. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of my veggie trash. Probably gonna get rid of this little chili. I don't need it floating around. I'm gonna leave it here for right now. Hubby may want some extra. Probably not, but we'll see. And then I'll show you what dinner looks like. And here's the finished product. The zucchini cooked up perfectly. The sweet potatoes are very good. And the only thing in the sweet potatoes is the brown butter, which I just browned on the stove according to the directions, and then mix the potatoes up. And then I already tried the zucchini. That's how I knew that. Let me taste the meatloaf. That is one of the best, like, non-traditional meatloaves I've ever had. Sauce is delicious. The only thing that I don't particularly like is that there's no seasoning in the meatloaf itself. So if you've got a picky eater that won't eat the Ancho chili seasoning, you'll want to do something different maybe. I don't know. Of course, if they're not eating the Ancho chili, they need to try it at least, because it is super good and super surprising. But chances are they're drowning it in ketchup anyway, so you're probably good. Okay, thanks for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe. Till next time, bye.
I don't chop a lot, so that's one reason I'm not any better at it, or at least not finely chop. Most of my stuff is like chopping veggies and stuff I'm okay at, but chopping this tiny stuff, I'm not so